Hello, welcome to our next tutorial of QuickSurface. This tutorial is about flattening. I'm going through demonstration here and explain what this means. We have a scan bottle, just a normal one, for which we would like to create a label here. Now, if we just cut off a label from a flat sheet, probably there will be issues to stick this on this bottle. As you can see, because this is just a normal scan, someone had this label already, or on the other side, like here. But let's assume for now there is no label and we want to create one. Here is the workflow that you can do with QuickSurface. The first step is you're going to select surfacing and then 3D sketch. I'm going to draw artistically the shape that I need to achieve just by clicking on the reference mesh here with a double click. I will just create another spline here, and because this is rounded, I will just not close it. I will just create my 3D sketch here. Perhaps this corner needs to be sharp. It's really in your hands to design the way how this should look like. I just finished drawing with a double click. Here where I want to have this rounded, I will just use our blend curve command and we'll create a blend curve between the two curves. I'm going to modify this 3D sketch a little bit so I can get the desired shape just by dragging. You can use the handles to change the curvature, and this is the shape that I am looking for at the moment. As you can see, I created the curve just with the 3 points in this case, so this is really not very accurate lying onto the underlying mesh, but this is not so important for now. Once I have my design created, I can press OK. The next step that I need to do is actually use our Fill Surface command, which is located under the surfacing menu, or you can find it in our surfacing tab, which is located here. I select the Fill Surface command. Before I continue, I'll just make sure that the Select Edge Chain option is enabled. This will allow me, when I click on this curve, automatically to pick all the connected edges that I created, and the software automatically will create a surface which is bounded by these curves. Now, the problem with this is that it actually does not represent the underlying mesh. What I mean with this is it doesn't take into account how the topology is, but only the 3D sketch. In many cases, due to the way it works, it may not approximate the underlying mesh. For this reason, we have something that is called onScan data. The command onScan data will actually analyze the underlying mesh and will create a surface which fits really well the scan data. If you can see here, we have a difference between our created curve and the resulted surface. The reason for this is that our onScan data method puts the surface directly onto the scan data, regardless of how the shape look like based on the 3D curve, and that's why it gets much better results. Now you can cancel this and go in 3D sketch and get closer and redefine your 3D curve, but for now, for the demonstration, I'll just leave it as it is now. I can press OK. If I just go to the main toolbar and press compare, you can see how close I am with the underlying mesh. This is too tight tolerance, so I can probably put it 0.1 mm, which is good enough for me to understand the quality of my results. I will just hide for now the 3D sketch, and this is my surface, which looks like the label that I want to print. The next step that I need to take is to actually flatten this. We have a flatten command which is located under the surfacing toolbar, or how we call it, workspace. The way it works is you just select the surface and then you choose the flatten command. Flatten command doesn't have parameters or so. It just takes and makes the best way to flatten the shape that you have pre-selected, and the end result is actually a 2D sketch. 2D sketch is just another primitive which is created in QuickSurface, and now I'm going just to right click on it and go to edit. As you can see here, it created these curves. What the next step should be for me is just to export this for the purposes of 2D applications. I'll just make sure into the options of the export 2D sketch that I have pre-selected DXF R14. The reason for this is because this file format supports splines, and this is the right way to do it, and I can just make sure that this has been selected. I will then press export in order to export this for my needs. I will just pick something on my directory which is relevant into the flatten, and here I have something which I call bottle. In order to complete my demonstration, I'm just using Inkscape. It's a free software that is similar to Adobe Illustrator, but you can use your professional tools, and I'm going to open what I created just so far, which is this DXF file format. I press open. Now I just make sure that everything is selected to read from the file. The reason for this is that everything is in millimeters, so we need to keep the dimensions, and I'll just press OK. You can see that here this is the profile has been created. I can just pre-select everything. Probably I can group it. Honestly, I'm not very good in this type of software, but you might be way better than me, and then you can just adjust this and place it, and from here you can just go and print it onto the specific paper, which you can just use further. Now I'm going to show you another application which is really interesting, and for example, if you want to put stickers on the car like this one, the way you do this is exactly in the same way, and for the demonstrations I will just go and create new, and we will open another example which I have here. This is a scanned piece that you would like to create a sticker. As you saw, one way of doing this is by creating a 3D sketch and then create a few surface commands. But also what you can do is just using our freeform tools I'm going to show today. The freeform is available on the main toolbar. You can learn from the tutorials how to use this in details. But for now, I'll just create my patch network here, which works like this, and then I can just duplicate what I'm trying to do in the best possible way to get this shape, which is on top of the scan mesh. Here I can continue and just try to wrap around my shape. In this case, I have a sharp corner. I can create this as a crease shape, and we'll carry on to create my patch that will be my label. Here I will just split. As you can see, it's so easy. You can just drag and everything is snapped onto the underlying mesh until you get the desired results. For the purposes of accuracy here, if I just evaluate, this is really off from my scan data. I can use the tools like, for example, select this edge, press the S command to split. You can see that it's automatically created this. You can get a very detailed tutorials of how to use our freeform tools. Don't hesitate to explore. This is not the main goal of this demonstration. I'm just trying to create the shape that approximates in the best possible way the shape that I need to create. And my goal today is just to show you that you can use these tools also to flatten the shape. I can explore here the quality. Perhaps I can increase the resolution, tweak in real time just to get this as accurately as possible of our underlying mesh, and you can see that this is state-of-the-art real-time analyzer. I can probably just increase the resolution, split this here until I get the desired accuracy, and I can press close. Now, as we have this very close, the next step, if you remember that I can do it, just select this one, go to surfacing, and then press flat. You can see that the software took this information and unwrapped and created this as a 2D sketch. I can just go and edit now. This is my result. Here you can just again export this as a cardboard shape, and again in your favorite 2D package you can just, I'll just delete this, you can go and import this, and which was this shape. I can place it here. You can see that this is way bigger, but this is the shape that you have, and from here you can just send it directly to the cutting machine that can cut the vinyl, and you can just create your shapes and put it in the application like the one on the screen. I hope this tutorial was useful. Thank you for watching.